Okay, here's an excerpt from chapter 2 of my novel, Unconditional. Boarding was fairly fast, and Matthew stared out the window as the plane took off for New Mexico for him to meet his orphaned newborn niece and deal with his late brother's affairs. As he was flying, a baby started crying. He'd heard plenty of crying babies on planes before, but this one jolted him, being reminded that he had a newborn's future in his hands. He looked over. The child's mother was bouncing the baby and rocking back and forth, shushing and trying to insert a pacifier, looking apologetic. She caught his eye and mouthed, "I'm sorry." He nodded to her that it was okay, then went back to looking out the window. But it made him think about babies. They were kind of foreign to him. He'd never had a younger sibling or cousins or anything. His only experience was his friends Kenny and Sherry's kids, and he never helped take care of them. He knew babies ate baby food, but didn't know what that comprised or how often they ate. When did they start eating actual food? How often did they need their diapers changed? Or when did they stop wearing diapers? Even though he had no reason to know any of these things as a bachelor, he still felt a little odd that he was so clueless. And he still didn't know what decision he would make about the little girl. She was his niece, but he felt odd thinking of her that way. They had no connection whatsoever. He had looked up information about orphanages and foster care, but it all felt impersonal and foreign. These things existed, though, so he knew it wasn't abnormal for a child to grow up in them. But how deeply would he pursue options for her? If he toured facilities, what would he even be looking for? Would he just go with his gut? The whole idea of it was so strange, handing a little human off to strangers. But the little human was also a stranger. He felt horrible for her, though, that her parents would just leave her alone and helpless. The more he thought about it, the more the fog in his head swirled. He couldn't concentrate. He'd have to decide at some point, but until that point arrived, he would try not to overthink it.